Hello all and welcome. And I'm McDuff Philosopher, and in this video I would like to talk about feminists begging Facebook to police hate speech, and then Facebook complies and bans feminists for their hate speech. So essentially, when a woman says hate speech, what she really means is speech against her. I mean, she should be perfectly allowed to say hate speech. You see, in the feminist mind, and aren't they lovely? Aren't these feminists just lovely? Look at that screeching, howling, angry, buck-toothed, chimpanzee-looking woman right there. Isn't she just glorious? Wouldn't you just love to climb into bed with that every night? No. Good God, this is scary. These are some scary-looking broads. Yeah, geez, I wonder why less men are getting married. I wonder why. Anyhow, let's get to the meat of this story, shall we? Feminists beg Facebook to police hate speech, and then Facebook does what they didn't expect. Applies the same rules that they use against everybody else to the feminists. Sometimes justice can be pretty hilarious. After spending months harping on Facebook to better police hate speech on the social media platform, feminists are now finding themselves banned for, you guessed it, hate speech. Anyone who's dealt with feminists in any capacity over the past few years is well aware of their unspoken mottos. It's okay when we do it, and no bad tactics, only bad targets. Right, in their ideology, you're the evil one, they're the good one, so it's okay to use hate speech against you, but you can't do it against them because they're the good guys. You see how that kind of works out, at least in their own minds? Feminists have gotten used to being able to whine and cry bully their way into getting whatever they want, and so it's extremely satisfying to see them being shot by their own arrows. Indeed it is. Story goes on to say, feminist cry bully rag, the Mary Sue. I love it. There's a rag out there. There's a site called the Mary Sue. Oh, unbelievable. For those of you who don't know what a Mary Sue is a woman who's perfect in every way. She's the best a human being could possibly be, man or a woman. She could beat up any man, master any skill, masters everything perfectly. Nothing challenges her. She's brilliant, perfect, just good at everything she does. The Mary Sue mules about women finally being held accountable for their own behavior, as if anyone is supposed to care. For pretty much as long as the sites have existed, women, POC, and other marginalized groups have been asking for Facebook and other social media platforms to stop taking verbal abuse, hate speech, and other forms of harassment seriously. But since asking these companies for anything is like wishing on a cursed baby's paw that turns your request against you, Facebook has finally started cracking down on perceived hate speech so long as that speech is coming from women criticizing white men. Right. Since Facebook ostensibly offers protections for all races and genders, the company views white men as their own protected class. That's right, idiots. You can't just make blanket statements like men are scum and men are the worst without being guilty of the exact same kind of hate speech you claim to be against. Right. But that's, again, the left, women in particular, they hate men, right? And this is all feminists. Even the ones that call themselves first and second waivers, okay? Hate men. Men are evil. Men are the enemy. And they're the enemy. They're the bad guy, okay? It's perfectly okay to do horrible things to and treat them badly because they've done it to you for so long. Oh, right. So it's justified to do it to them. By the way, we didn't do it to them, ever. This kind of complaining does nothing but further prove that feminists cannot tolerate being held to account for their own shitty actions, but they will immediately raise hell over any slight against them, no matter how minor. Well, right, they're hypocrites. Their skins are remarkably thin. They don't hold themselves up to the same standards that they try to hold everybody else up to. Of course, they're so lacking in self-awareness, they know none of this. Feminists always demand that others be held to the standards that they refuse to abide by themselves. Right. And seeing them become so angry when they're held responsible for their own brand of hate speech is equal parts ridiculous and comical. They've been bullying others while claiming victimhood for over 20 years, and many people are no longer falling for their ruse. The feminist always cries out in pain as she strikes, to justify their actions, of course. Women have a long history of becoming egregious bullies whenever they've been given the slightest bit of power, and it's time to hold them to the same standards that they force upon others. Good luck with that. Outside of Facebook, I don't see that happening. The saddest aspect of feminism is the fact that very few people would have a problem with the movement if women held themselves accountable for their own mistakes instead of performing mental gymnastics and hamster wheeling a plausible excuse to blame men. They've claimed all the benefits of equality while accepting none of the responsibility that comes with it. Men are tired of this bullshit, and it's no wonder that most women from the Gen X and millennial generations are doomed to become lonely cat ladies by the age of 40. And here we have the video of how do you write women so well. I would play it except for copyright issues. But, of course, Melvin says, I think of a man, then I take away reason and accountability. That's women in a nutshell. Just like a man, but no logic, no reason, and they are never held to account for their actions. You want to understand women? There you go. Goes on to say, feminists have been using the words sexist, misogynist, racist, homophobe, and transphobe as weapons to win debates for far too long, and they apply these highly damaging labels to anyone who even slightly disagrees with them, devoid of just cause, with impunity. So it's highly amusing to see them finally get a little bit of their own that they've been dishing out. Don't dish it out if you can't take it, feminists. Well, they can't. Feminists can't take it. Of course, they've never been able to take it. And don't force other people to live according to the guidelines that you refuse to impose upon yourselves. Let's get this straight, okay? If women could take it, they wouldn't need the superior positions that they have voted themselves through the voting process, okay? If they could take it as well as dish it out, they wouldn't need to be in a superior position in society. I love it. This is so funny. And, of course, when you look at this picture again, it's just frightening. This is what modern women have become. Women in their 20s, early 30s, born in the 80s and after like 1983, 84 and beyond are just horrible, nasty, screaming, monkey-looking creatures. Look at this thing. Oh, my God. Could you imagine that going down on you? Look at those teeth. I mean, she would shred you. Literally shred you. It's just scary. Scary. And they wonder why we don't want to get married anymore. That's why, bitches. That's why. So let me know what you think of Facebook actually cracking down on feminists for being guilty of the very things they're trying to indict others of doing. And please let me know in the comments section and like and subscribe to this video. And if you feel so inclined, donate to my Patreon. You'll find a link both in the last 20 seconds of this video as well as the description. I am the MGTOW Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.